The Alabama Football Report's goal is 9,000 subscribers right now. Help us get there. We are inside of 500, and it's very simple here at Chat Sports. There's a lot of different channels we provide coverage to. The more subscribers, the more videos. I'd love to do more on Bama football. Hit that sub button right now. We've got some betting odds for quarterback one for the Crimson Tide this year from sportsbetting.ag. Some surprising odds as well. Ty Simpson is plus 105. He's the betting favorite right now. Tyler Buchner is plus 140. And Jalen Milroe is down there at plus 300. All very interesting odds. Maybe Milroe's your value bet from that perspective. So we'll go player by player as we get closer and closer to fall camp beginning. Let's begin with Simpson, who is suddenly the betting favorite. There's been a little bit of buzz, by the way, in recent weeks. Greg McElroy predicted it was going to be Ty Simpson. We'll get to Clint Lamb's thoughts on the quarterback battle. Maybe that's why he's the betting favorite. That's the sports books are not having insider info or any special details from the staff or whatever, but they're instead just reading tea leaves out there in media. Simpson's only a redshirt freshman, and he did dislocate his thumb during the A-Day spring game scrimmage, but didn't exactly have his best effort. He ran the ball pretty decently, actually, but as a thrower, left a decent amount to be desired. 46.2% completion rate, 155 passing yards, 1 interception, no touchdowns. But in terms of the long-term impact, the hype around Simpson, this is a 5-star quarterback. He was number 29 overall in that recruiting class, his recruiting class. The number 4 quarterback that went into Tennessee to pull him away. And I do wonder if in the event Simpson does not win this job, I think he's a prime transfer candidate. Maybe not this year, but next year, especially with Julian Sayin arriving on campus next year. But here's what Clint Lamb of On3, friend of the show, wrote, I should say. I think Ty Simpson right now would probably be my favorite. Just I think he's got a great command of the offense. I think the thumb injury did affect him during A-Day quite a bit. But a couple of drives where he was really able to string together some quality plays. And I know that's something Tommy Rees looks out for of his quarterbacks. So as far as being the best representation of a quarterback that can thrive in Tommy Rees' system, I would probably say Ty Simpson, even though I also think Buchner could survive as well. No mention there of Jalen Milroe, who we're going to go more in depth on, and on Buchner here. But who wins the quarterback battle? TS for Ty Simpson, JM for Jalen Milroe, or TB for Tyler Buchner? That is today's pinned comment. So if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage. Head down there, type in TS for Ty Simpson, JM for Jalen Milroe, or TB for Ty Buchner at the pinned comment of this vid. Let's go to the number 2 favorite, right in the middle, Tyler Buchner, who, of course, played for Tommy Rees at Notre Dame, who you would then assume can have success in a Tommy Rees-style offense, although his success wasn't the best for the Fighting Irish. Now, he transferred to the Crimson Tide following the spring game for Notre Dame. He was never going to start over Sam Hartman, so he transfers to a place where, in theory, he has a better shot, at least, of starting. He's not coming here just to be a backup. He could have done that at Notre Dame. Now, Buchner hurt his shoulder in week 2 against Marshall, came back against South Carolina, and had his best game of his career despite some turnovers. The issue for Buchner has always been just consistency, making the right throw at the proper time. His completion percentage is 56.8%. That's not exactly what you're aiming for. That's kind of an issue for all of these guys, frankly. Does offer some dual threat ability as a runner. 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That ratio's got to be a lot better than less than 2-1 to have success in the SEC. Now, I will say this. Saban does know what he's doing. And I don't think it's an accident that as soon as the spring game for Alabama ends, they go find another, at least, option at quarterback. And Tyler Buchner did not come to Alabama with the intent of, I'm just going to sit. This is not it almost happened this way. Gardner Minshew coming to Alabama to be basically a graduate assistant from that perspective. So the quarterback battle, in the end, is going to make everybody better, I believe. I think this is going to be a situation where the goal is to a rising tide lifts all boats type of deal, and ideally one of them can emerge, and the other two end up having more success. So ultimately, isn't that what everyone wants for Alabama? More quarterback success. Isn't that the goal? To have a quarterback, even if it's not a Bryce Young, a Tua, a Mac Jones, isn't the goal to get more ability out of those guys and have more success in a down year, quote unquote, for the Crimson Tide? But there is reason to doubt Buchner, given the fact that he's been a turnover machine and was awful against Marshall before he got hurt. Does Buchner have what it takes to start? Sound off in the comment section a simple Y for yes or N for no. Then there's the incumbent, so to speak, and Jalen Milroe, who producer Chris and I agree, if you want the value on the bet, that's the one, especially if the whole goal is who starts week one. Milroe's been in the program the longest amount of time. He's still only a redshirt sophomore. And from a dual threat ability, he's probably one of the faster guys on the team, if he's not like, the same speed as we've seen with Jalen Waddle or Tyler Hill, didn't play at all last year. But Milroe does offer dual threat ability, who is still unpolished as a passer. But if he can be a Blake Sims even style quarterback, I think Bama would take that right now, given the uncertainty at the position. He is a dual threat. I mean, look at his career stats. He has almost as many rushing yards as passing yards, and I do think the option-heavy offense and the run-heavy offense is going to be a key staple of the Alabama football team this cycle. It's just very interesting to see Milroe as third on those odds. One more note. The transfer portal also complicates things because players can now, hey, I'm going to be a third stringer, deuces, bye, I'll go transfer to Georgia Tech or something and start, right? So with that in mind, the winner will probably, whether that's winner in week 1 or winner by week 5, will probably be quarterback 1 next year. Whoever's quarterback 3, even if they don't transfer this season, will probably transfer after the year ends. So maybe you do keep, if in the event of a tie, maybe tie goes to the younger quarterback, and that would be Ty Simpson. Not to make I just realized that I said that the tie joke, which was not intentional and also sounds dumb, but that is worth considering from that perspective. But this is also to keep in mind what Simpson said. Looking at Mac Jones' situation and how he waited for his turn, and that's what makes Alabama, Alabama. So when I get my turn, I'm going to make the most of it and see where it takes me. That's the right mindset to have. We'll see if that continues to be the case if he doesn't win the job. We will have more for you on the Alabama football quarterback battle all throughout the preseason, fall camp, into the regular season. So make sure you guys are subscribed. YouTube.com/@RollTideTV. Let's go to Demarcus Riddick, as the Georgia commit is going to announce his decision on Wednesday. He might not end up at Georgia. He's going to make the final decision despite being a commit. I know, recruiting's kind of weird. On Wednesday, with Georgia maybe not being able to keep him. Riddick's a 5-star recruit. He's the number 3 linebacker in this class. Again, this based on the 24/7 Sports composite rankings. And the number 3 linebacker from the state of Alabama. And I do love high school stats because they're all ridiculous. Like this one right here. 109 tackles, 19 TFLs, 11 hurries, 7 sacks. Objectively funny results there for Demarcus Riddick in a good way. Like 109 tackles is absurd. Bama is in the running, but they are not the only team in the mix. So prediction time. Will Alabama flip Riddick from Georgia? I think there's a good chance he flips to a school in the state of Alabama, but maybe not the Crimson Tide. Get your predictions in. 1 for yes, 0 for no. The On3 Prediction Machine, which, hey, asterisk it, doesn't know what's going to happen. 27% for Georgia, 39.2% for Bama, 31.7% for Auburn. There had been a lot of buzz earlier in the month, and even dating back into June, if he could flip to Alabama. Auburn has had a lot of recent buzz. We'll know what happens in 24-ish hours or less. Here's what Riddick said on his commitment decision. It's been really tough. I thought I had this settled down when I committed to Georgia, but I really don't, because my feelings have changed a little. I don't know why you'd make a full-on second announcement if it's Georgia. I mean, look, it's attention. It's all fair. These are kids after all. But that makes me think it's not Georgia when it's all. It happens occasionally. You decommit, recommit, but I'd be surprised if he stuck with it here. Now, Bama's loaded at Alabama at linebacker. Excuse me. Bama's loaded at Alabama. Alabama's loaded at linebacker, which they kind of always are. Auburn could offer some more playing time though, since they are kind of retooling with some coaching changes in recent years. We'll find out what happens tomorrow for the Crimson Tide, but we'll see if they can flip Riddick and hurt Georgia in the process too.